Hello everybody, my name is Pastor Logan. Welcome to this week's Pick Me Up, your weekly inspiration and motivation so that you can finish the week strong. In today's episode, we're actually going to talk about prayer. And we're going to center around the idea of something that a mentor, one of my old bosses, and something that I learned in college. And it's this saying that there is not one single problem that we can't solve by getting on our knees and praying to God. See, I'll be honest, when I first heard this, and I heard it a lot, it was one of his favorite sayings, I kind of brushed it off. I was like, God doesn't need to care about all of our problems. Like, oh, I stubbed my toe. Like, I don't need to pray to God about that, kind of thing. I really wish I had learned this lesson way sooner in my ministry journey so far, because it would have avoided so many problems and made my life so much easier. See, prayer is something that we get to do with God. It is something that He actually is a gift that He gives to us so that we can communicate directly with Him. And I know what some of you are probably thinking, well, prayer doesn't work, or God doesn't care about my little problem over here, or He's got world hunger to fix, or cancer, or all these things, and we play the comparison game a lot. And sometimes I also think we get so wrapped up in our own world, we start worrying about scheduling this and running the kids off to here and what bill and what this and what that we forget to let God in. And we let God in by praying. So God actually wants us and yearns for us to let Him in. See, all of those things that I talked about where it was comparison, where you're saying, oh, my problem isn't as important as this, or I can handle it on my own, I'm strong, and I go to church every Sunday, and I don't need to pray about it. Those are lies of the enemy, and they're not true. We all need to pray, and we need to pray daily. See, I'm kind of reminded of David when I think about prayer, and specifically in Psalms. And David wrote a lot of Psalms, but I'm going to talk about one that we don't talk a lot about. We talk a lot about Psalm 23, and we talk a lot about Psalm 24 and 27 and 127 and 139. But Psalm 25 kind of hits this amazing little pocket of prayer and asking God for things that I just don't think we highlight enough. And so I have my Bible with me today. I've had this thing for many years. It is very old and falling apart. But if you're going to follow along, we're in Psalm 25. We're going to read verses 4 to 10. So he says, "Show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road for me to follow. Lead me to your truth and teach me, for you are the God who saves me. All day long I put my hope and prayer in you. Remember, O Lord, your compassion and unfailing love, which you have shown for long ages past. Do not remember the rebellious sins of my youth. Remember me in the light of your unfailing love, for you are merciful, O Lord. The Lord is good and does what is right. He shows the proper path to those who go astray. He leads the humble to do right, teaching them this way. The Lord leads us with unfailing love and faithfulness to all who keep His commandments, obey His." See, this verse is talking about two things, and we're going to focus on one, and then we might come back to it in another episode and focus on the other. So the first thing that this one is talking about is it's talking about praying daily. It actually says that we are to seek our hope and put our hope in God all day long. It says that God leads us with love, compassion, and faithfulness first. See, we get it stuck in our heads that God can't solve our problems or that He doesn't want to. It's not true at all. God yearns for us to bring our problems to Him. We're not meant to carry the weight of the stresses of this world alone. That's why we have a loving and graceful and merciful God, is so that we can live life to the fullest through Him. And part of doing that is praying. See, when I was in Bible college, I got really busy in my second year. I was RA, I was volunteering at my church at the time, I was doing student council, like I was super busy. And I'll be honest, I straight up stopped praying, doing devotion, listening to worship music. I stopped taking that time to be with the Lord. And it costed me a lot. My relationship with him suffered, my grades suffered, my whole life suffered. I was more stressed out than I had ever been in my life. And yes, I had a lot of extra responsibilities. But the problem wasn't the responsibilities, it was how I handled them. It was the fact that God was always my last resort and not my first resort. He was always the last stop on the bus, not the first. See, why is it that I didn't go to God with my problems to begin with? I don't know, I was young, dumb, and naive and thought I could handle it on my own. Maybe for you, you don't go to God because you're scared, because you think that he can't fix it, or that he won't fix it, or that the sins of your past somehow, denounce your relationship with God. None of that is true. God yearns for us to pray for him. So I challenge you this week, if you are struggling, if you need this pick-me-up, instead of trying to focus on what you can't control or what you can't fix, pray about it. Seek God first in those moments and let him reveal to you how he wants you to handle the situation. I mean, the verses are clear. It says that we are to seek him all day long. The Lord is good and does what is right, and he shows what is right and the proper path to those who obey him. All he asks for us is to pray to him. We are obeying him, and he will show you what to do. So that's your motivation for this week. Pray about it, seek the Lord, put God first, pray first, and I can guarantee you will see good things come from it. Don't be like me. Don't think you can handle the situation by yourself. Don't get burnt out and sick and ruin your grades and be stressed out for nothing. It's not worth it. Seek God first. All right, that's it for this week's Pick Me Up, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the share button if you think this is going to help somebody, and leave a comment if you like it. If there are topics you want me to cover, scriptures, things like that, engage with us. Tell us if you even like this kind of thing. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.